Good morning, all my sweet friends, pals, and confidants. How are you this morning? I just realized I forgot to put my makeup on. I gotta do that. It is, what time is it? 7:15. I've been up about an hour. It's Monday, March 30th. It's Easter week, Passover, and I have a lot to talk to you about, and I'm going to try to split it up all week. I've got a really busy week personally. This morning, I'm going to First Coast Women's Services and going to be doing some more training there. And this is all volunteer. And I've already put a load of laundry in. I've already taken the dog out. It's going to be a busy day. I got to sweep and mop when I get home. I'm working, I think, 4 hours. Let's see. 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12. 4.5 hours at the Women's Center. And then I've got to come home and get ready for a regular Monday. I got to do all my regular Monday chores and fix dinner. I think we're having leftovers tonight. We got a refrigerator full of leftovers. We need to eat those. So today, 2,000 years ago, roughly, on Palm Sunday, the Sunday before Easter, it wasn't a holiday back then. Well, it was Passover holiday. Oh, sorry. But Jesus made his triumphant entry, and that was prophesied 2 different places in Haggai and I can't remember what verses in Haggai, and in Zechariah 9:9 it talks about the king coming, gentle and riding on a donkey, on a colt, the foal of a donkey. It's a donkey that's never been ridden before. And the Bible explains, and I'm not going to get into it, how the disciples found this donkey. Jesus told them exactly where to go, exactly what to say to bring that donkey. And it happened exactly as he told them it would. So they had yesterday, 2,000 years ago, they had the triumphal entry, and everybody was singing Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna in the highest. And Hosanna, I don't know if you realize this, the root word of Hosanna is the same as the root word for Jesus. Isn't that interesting? And on Palm Sunday, as the people were going crazy, and some people were saying, "Who is this?" And they're like, "Oh, it's Jesus of Nazareth. Haven't you heard of him and all his miracles?" Now it's time. If you remember back in Cana, Jesus told his mother, "No, it's not my time. It's not time." And all the miracles that he performed with the Jews, he would say, keep this to yourself. Some of them, they had, like the leper, had to go to the temple and be pronounced clean by the Pharisees. What am I trying to think of? The priests had to be proclaimed clean by the priests so that they could enter back into society. But he told everybody to keep quiet. Be quiet. It's not my time. Now is his time. And so we see Jesus entering the city. At the time, the people didn't know it. Jesus knew it. God knew it, because it was in their plan all along. 1 week later, less than a week later, they were going to turn against him and scream out for his death. And you know why? He came in as a lamb, sacrificial lamb. He knew he was going to be a sacrificial lamb. They thought he was coming in as a conquering king, that he was going to free them from the Roman occupation. That's not why he went the first time. Now when he returns, The second time, he is coming back as a conquering king. And he's going to free this world, not from any human hold, but from the satanic hold that Satan has on this world. Jesus is finally going to free us from that. Yay. Okay, so today, all those years ago, after Palm Sunday, they went to Bethany, which is the little town where Lazarus and his sisters lived. And it was just outside of Jerusalem, so it was not a long walk at all. So they stayed in Bethany that night. Well, the next morning, they're heading back to Jerusalem, and this is when Jesus curses the fig tree. He sees this fig tree, and he goes up to get fruit out of it. Now, I don't know. I'm assuming he knew there was no fruit on that tree. He was going to be using that tree as a lesson. But he cursed the tree withered. And he said, the disciples saw this and they were amazed. How did the fig tree wither so quickly, they asked. Jesus replied, I tell you the truth. And this is in Matthew chapter 21. I tell you the truth, if you have faith and do not doubt, not only can you do what was done to the fig tree, but also you can say to this mountain, go, throw yourself into the sea, and it will be done. If you believe, you will receive whatever you ask for in prayer. If you want to do something for Jesus, but you're a little scared, maybe you don't have the courage, the voice, ask Jesus. Ask Jesus. What you drinking in your cup? Mine's coffee. No espresso this morning because I'm away to the Women's Center. I'm going to stop at Starbucks. I'll get my espresso then. Love my morning coffee. Okay, so after he cursed the fig tree, he went on into Jerusalem. And this is the day, the Monday after he had his triumphal entry, the Monday before he's crucified, he clears the temple. It's a justifiable anger. It's not, anyways, he dumps their tables. He clears them out. He says, get out of here, you den of thieves. And they were thieving the people. They were charging extraordinary amounts of money for everything that they were selling. They were selling for the for the people to do the sacrifice. So they were selling them animals because a lot of these people came from a long, long way away, and they're not going to bring their sacrifice with them. They're going to buy it when they get there. And I don't know if you know this, but Bethlehem, which is right outside of Jerusalem, is a city known for its sheep and its lamb and its unblemished lamb. So it was a perfect place to buy their animal sacrifices. And they were charging. You know how it is? You know how it is? Right now, our gas prices are through the roof. And I was talking to a sheriff deputy the other day, and I said, can't we do something about these illegal prices they're gouging us with? And he said, well, you know, the Strait of Hormuz, the truth is we don't get our oil from the Middle East. We have our own oil. We are completely independent of them. So the gas, the oil people think, ooh, that's going on over there. We can raise our prices. And that's what they're doing. They're raising their prices through the roof. So this is how we end up paying, not only with the lives of our young soldiers, our young men and women, but paying out of pocket for the price of gas. Crazy. Okay, so that's what happened on Monday. He threw them out of the temple. He didn't throw them out of the temple. They stayed, and they probably regrouped within an hour or two, but he made his point. And he said, let me see. Okay, that was that. The priests wanted to know where he had the authority to do the things that he was doing, and saying, who gave you this authority? So Jesus answered their question with a question. I will also ask you one question. If you answer me, I will tell you by what authority I am doing these things. John's baptism, where did it come from? Was it from heaven or from men? They discussed it among themselves and said, if we say it's from heaven, he will ask, then why didn't you believe him? But if he says from men, we are afraid of the people, for they all hold that John was a prophet. So they answered Jesus, saying, we don't know. Then Jesus said, neither will I tell you by what authority I am doing these things. And then he did a lot of parables. He spoke of a lot of teaching, and it doesn't say that he left the temple, so I'm assuming maybe he did this teaching right there at the temple. Maybe not in the meeting rooms. Maybe it was out there in the courtyard where the money exchangers were and the people selling the animals. I don't know. You have to ask somebody smarter than me. This is also where he gives the Olivet Discourse. And at this time, this is when the Pharisees really got nervous. They were like, oh, we got to get rid of this guy. He's going to cause us so much trouble. So they started plotting. And as the week goes along, we will see what their plotting leads to. It's ugly. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to talk about the Passover, what it was, which I think most of you know. It happened when the Egyptians left Egypt. Well, it's the reason they were able to leave Egypt. But what does it mean with Jesus? What does it have to do with Jesus? I tell you, it has everything to do with Jesus. It was a total, it totally tells us why Jesus died on the cross, why we needed his blood to cover our sins. That gave you a hint, right? Think about it. If you don't already know, a lot of my people that follow me are Christians and have been for a long time, so you know. But shh, keep it a secret. I'll tell you the rest later. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'm going to finish my coffee, my lovely, lovely coffee in my mug that my husband got me for Christmas. And I'm going to, where's my dog? Oh, there he is. I'll take my dog out one more time. And it's 7:30. I got plenty of time. I don't need to leave for the Women's Center for an hour and a half. So I love y'all. Mwah! Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful week. Think about what he did for us 2,000 years ago. I love you. Bye.